If we think of emotions as a ladder, fear sits near the bottom, not because it's bad, but because it's contracted. It narrows perception, tightens the body, and makes the world feel smaller. The next rung up is rarely joy or peace. It's usually something subtle, accessible, and believable. The next best feeling above fear is courage, but not the Hollywood version, it's the quiet kind. Maybe I can handle this. I've survived things like this before. I don't know the whole picture yet. I can take one small step. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the willingness to move with it. And that shift is powerful because it changes the internal posture from collapse to orientation. How to shift perspective toward courage. Here's a simple, teachable framework you can use in your workbooks, scripts, or healing content. 1. Name the contraction. Fear becomes more workable the moment it's acknowledged. My chest is tight. My mind is racing. I'm anticipating danger that isn't here yet. Naming it reduces the intensity by giving the brain a sense of orientation. 2. Normalize the signal. Fear is not a flaw, it's a signal of evolution. Anxiety is the precursor to growth, the wobble before balance. This reframing alone moves someone up the scale. 3. Introduce a micro possibility, not a leap, a nudge. What if this feeling is temporary? What if this is my system preparing me for something new? What if I don't need to get rid of this feeling to move forward? These thoughts are believable, which is essential. The nervous system rejects anything that feels like a lie. 4. Anchor in a principle, trust, hope, faith, courage. You don't need to use the word spiritual. These are human principles, not religious ones. They work because they shift the internal stance from threat to support. Faith, not in a deity, in your own capacity to adapt. Trust, in the process of learning, even when it's messy. Hope, in the possibility that things can improve. Courage, in taking the next step, even while afraid. These principles don't eliminate anxiety, they give it context. Why getting rid of anxiety isn't the goal. Removing anxiety doesn't create the skill to overcome it. If you magically remove the fear of falling, you still wouldn't know how to ride the bike. The wobble teaches balance. The discomfort teaches capacity. The fear teaches discernment. Anxiety is often the activation energy required for transformation. It's the body saying, something is changing, pay attention. You're growing. A perspective shift that changes everything. Instead of, I need this feeling to stop, this feeling is evidence that I'm at the edge of expansion. That single reframe moves someone up the emotional scale without bypassing their reality. A simple practice to embody this shift, the 3-step courage calibration. Notice, I feel fear, anxiety, tension. Normalize. This is what growth feels like in the body. Nudge. What's one small action I can take while feeling this? This builds emotional stamina, not avoidance. One more thought I think you'll appreciate. Fear is often the first sign that your old identity is too small for where you're going. It's the friction of transformation. When people learn to interpret fear as information, activation, preparation, and evolution, they stop fighting themselves and start partnering with their own nervous system. That's where real change happens.